He's written 10 books about American presidents. There may be no other journalist who speaks to so many presidents across so many periods, not just when they want to be heard from or at their press conferences. He spent much time discussing weighty issues of the day with many different presidents, including former President Trump, who was on that stage last night. His most recent book dealt with Donald Trump's handling of COVID and includes a series of the so-called Trump tapes, lengthy discussions and interviews during that White House and national crisis. The legendary journalist and two-time Pulitzer Prize winner, associate editor of the Washington Post, Bob Woodward, joins me now. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you.
When you look at last night's debate, what comes through for you? I can hear you fine, yeah. When you look at the debate, what comes through for you, and what do you say to people who think this engenders doubt or disqualification discussions about the president?
Well, Biden's performance was so bad, so awful. The way I look at it as a reporter, there must be some explanation. What really happened? He was preparing for this a long time. He knew it was consequential, and then it was this bad. It's like a golfer who plays country club golf in the 90s, all of a sudden shoots 140, and you wonder, something went wrong. He broke his foot or his ankle. I think the answer here is in reporting, in seeking very aggressively an explanation what happened here. We don't want it to come out in some book or some memoir in a couple of years or a decade. We need to know now. And I tell you, it was so bad, so awful. I mean, I don't want to speculate on possible explanations, but suppose he had, I want to speculate because I think the answer is in the realm. You always talk about evidence, and maybe he had some knockdown, drag-out fight with his campaign managers. There is an explanation, and that's where the repertorial energy should go, in my view.
Yeah, and Bob, you've heard, you follow this closely, how Washington is taking this in. When you hear calls to reconsider the nomination or the idea that maybe Biden should drop out, do you think that's merited now or too early for that talk?
Well, it's inevitable because his performance was, I sat there and watched it, and I could not believe it. I said, not only is this a political hydrogen bomb for him and the Democratic Party, I mean, you know, what happened? What happened? And I think something happened. And if you look back at this, he holed up for days working on this, preparing for it. He knew its significance. Somebody who is a practiced politician like Biden will internalize and rehearse lines. There must have been some of that, but he got thrown off his own game somehow. And I really think there is some sort of very large explanation for this because it was so, it was almost impossible.
Let me read to you one comparison that I think overlaps with part of what you're raising. This is from Stephen Collinson, a writer. There's been no public sign that Biden is, quote, unable to fulfill the duties of the presidency, which include tough decisions on national security. Just returned from 2 grueling foreign trips. But on Thursday's evidence, his ability to communicate with the country and even to sell his own vision for a second term is severely compromised. That we read because it makes the comparison that I think many Americans are feeling. And then I have a breaking item here from the New York Times editorial board, which, as you know, is different from the reporter's side. I just want to remind the audience, the New York Times reporters are just gathering all the facts, but we have breaking news from the New York Times editorial board, speaking for one of the key papers in the country. The editorial board says, quote, to serve his country, President Biden should leave the race. And they describe the threats posed by Donald Trump and say, and I'm reading this to you, Bob, and I imagine it being breaking news, you're hearing it for the first time, quote, the president appeared on Thursday night as the shadow of a great public servant, struggled to explain what he'd accomplished, struggled to respond to Trump, struggled to hold Trump accountable for his lies, failures, and chilling plans. And then it says, quote, more than once he struggled to make it to the end of a sentence. Printed out, I will show viewers, this runs about 3 pages. It's a lengthy and somewhat considered piece. It's also in the era of our fast reactions, a quick reaction to last night, which inside the 24-hour window. Your response to that news, Mr. Woodward, and do you think it is too hasty?
It's not necessarily hasty, but the energy needs to go at what really happened. Look, let's step back. If a building blows up in downtown of some city, the story will be what happened, and then the story will be, how did this happen? Why did it happen? And that's where I'm very, very curious, because this was a mega disaster. I was so shocked. I could not. I said, did this really happen? And I listened to replays. Now, explain candidate Biden's staff, people close to him. I want to hear that explanation, because that's where it will guide us in a direction, I think, to understand it. Can't downplay it, though. Can't kind of say, oh, well, it was just a bad night. It was an incoherent night.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.